What is up, everybody? Watt007 here, and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. And Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates it. And thank goodness Konami is here to deliver some Christmas goodness, because today we're going to be reviewing the next main box that is coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. It got leaked thanks to the latest update, adding the Duelist Chronicles 5Ds event, the newest one for all the Season 2 shenanigans for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, for Aporia, and all that fun stuff right there. And thanks to these leaks, we are getting a fantastic box right here. We're getting the Fantastic Arc main box right here, and this box is going to be adding some dummy broken cards right here. We got some insane Odd Eye support here. We got Burning Abyss shenanigans going on, and so much more to take a look at in today's box review. So if you guys are excited for today's video, or just happy that it's Christmas season, because yes, I am super excited for it, and I cannot wait to spend some time with my family. I low-key don't even want to record this video because I want to, like, you know, relax. But at the same time, freaking Odd Eye support out here, bro. I gotta get hyped up for this, dude, because I love Odd Eyes. It's one of my favorite decks of all time. So if you guys are excited, smash the like button on the video down below and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shout out to your boy Watt007 working that OT, baby. And let's get into today's box review, taking a look at all the UR cards in today's video. And just a heads up for today's review video, I'm going to try my best to just give you guys my best thoughts and opinions on all of these new cards for this next main box. But just keep in mind throughout today's video, if I say anything silly or I don't know an exact ruling of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, I've been really stressed out recently, I'm not gonna lie, and I've been trying to, like, kind of take a break from YouTube since I've been having so much just work. I've been working 6 days a week and retail, and the holidays have been just absolutely terrible. Any of you other guys that have been working retail could probably relate. It's been a terrible holiday season. But at the same time, Yu-Gi-Oh! News, when it comes out, I gotta come in and capitalize on it and have a good old time with reviewing it with all of you guys. So just a heads up for that, and I do genuinely appreciate you guys watching these videos, because it takes a lot of time and energy to make these videos, so I genuinely do appreciate you guys watching this. So hope you guys enjoy my review, and let's get into the first UR card of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. And first card we're gonna take a look at right here is Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, the cover art card of this box. Now I'm surprised that we got this guy so soon, but this is a really good Odd Eyes card for the deck right here. It's a 2700 attack and defense pendulum monster. It's a normal / pendulum monster, so you can search for it with cards that can search for normal cards, and it has a pendulum effect. And what a pendulum effect does when it is in the spell and trap card zone is that if an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You only can use this effect of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon once per turn. This card has done me good for a couple reasons. One, it's a scale 8. So that means you're going to be able to easily go into summoning into other Odd Eyes monsters, due to the fact that, one, when you have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon both in your scales and your spell and trap card zone, you can pop Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon to use its ability to search for one of your pendulum cards from your deck. And thanks to the fact that a Odd Eyes card got destroyed by its own card effect, you can use Arc Pendulum Dragon's effect to then special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So you're going to be able to search on the end of your turn, and you're going to be able to summon a monster on the end of your turn, which is really good. And on top of that too, since it's at scale 8, it's going to be easy to go into the summon into other Odd Eyes cards, because all your other cards you're going to be playing are most likely going to be scale 4 or scale 1. So you're going to be able to just spam out multiple Odd Eyes cards onto the field and go to rank 7 plays. So really good card right here. Fantastic card. And I'm liking this guy already. I'm very excited to get some copies of this card, and I'm going to whale in this box due to the fact of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon here, so that's exciting. Next card we're going to take a look at is Spiral Flame Strike. This guy is an amazing card for Odd Eyes decks for a couple of reasons. One, if you control an Odd Eyes card, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Or you can play one of its other effects where you can add to your hand one level 7 Odd Eyes monster from your deck, or face up Odd Eyes level 7 pendulum monster from your extra deck. So one, you can use this card to search for an Odd Eyes card or recycle an Odd Eyes card from your extra deck, or you can use this to pop a card on the field. Super good versatile card. Definitely a 3F if you're going to be playing Odd Eyes, because again, it's a searcher and it can pop cards. So good, dude. It's so good. I'm so excited to get this card. I cannot wait. Next up, we're going to take a look at Swarm. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. What is this card's name? I don't understand this word, like this wording right here. But yeah, it's one of the main Burning Abyss monsters for the Burning Abyss archetype. Now, thing is, I have absolutely no clue what Burning Abyss does. I read Dante earlier, as you can obviously see by the leaks right here. Dante is getting added. This card, like, I think got banned in the TCG, but I read this card on my own time, and I don't know why this card's good. I don't know why this card's good. I genuinely do not know how Burning Abyss works, I don't know, but I'm gonna read the card anyways, and I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions on this card, because again, I just don't. Burning Abyss is a deck I've never played before in the TCG, so I have no clue what this deck does. Anyways though, this is a UR card, and I think it's one of the main cards for the archetype, one of the main good old guys to go into these rank 3 summons. It's a dark level 3 fiend effect monster. If you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. You only can use one of these effects of Swarm. I don't even know how to pronounce this card's name, and only once that turn. If you control no spell and trap cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. Huge. And also during the end phase of this card's in the graveyard till center this turn, you can add one level 3 dark fiend type monster from your deck to your hand, except this guy right here. So again, you just use this guy to just basically just summon him onto the board, so you have at least one level 3 monster so that you can go into your rank 3 into Dante. And then, yeah, having the ability where if it gets sent to the graveyard because of an effect, being able to search is going to be really nice. I think you can use, like, you overlay into Dante with this guy, and then you pitch this, I don't know how to pronounce this card's name, but you pitch this card right here to the graveyard through Dante's effect, and then you can search for a card during the end phase. So I'm going to guess that's kind of the combo here. But again, like, whatever. I don't play Burning Abyss. I don't know what it does. And then Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. Like, again, I don't know why this card's good. I read the effect, and like in my mind, I'm just like, huh? But this is a rank 3 light warrior Xyz effect monster. It takes 2 level 3 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card and choose a number from 1 to 3, and then send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard until the end of this turn. This card gains 500 attack for each card sent to the graveyard this way. If this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase. If this card sent to the graveyard, you can target a Burning Abyss card in your graveyard, except this card, and add it to your hand. So a couple cool things. Its attack a bonus does not go away after you trigger the effect, so you can play this effect twice, and you're going to be able to get this guy to 3,500, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you first trigger its ability, you get it to 2,500, and then if this card is still around on your following turn or on your next following turn, you can boost it up to 3,300 or 3,500. That's pretty cool. And then the fact that when it attacks, it switches to defense position is kind of neat. For the fact that it has 2,500 defense, and since it is in defense, you're not going to be taking any battle damage, so that's pretty cool too. And then when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Burning Abyss card in your graveyard and recycle it, or just accept Dante and add it back to your hand. So you get a little bit of recycling going on here with this guy. So you get to mill cards, and if your deck revolves around graveyard strategies, you get that. You get a little boost from this guy. Overall, it's kind of a cool card. But again, it does have a lot of like neat effects. I will give the card that, but like at the same time, like I've heard that this card has been like really popular and like a really good card. So like from my point of view, I'm just like, it doesn't have no negates. It doesn't play around targeted effects. It just recycles. So I don't know why it's super good. But it does have a lot of versatile effects, so we'll have to see if it's going to be any good in Duel Links. Let me know in the comment section down below for anybody that is more knowledge on Burning Abyss. Is this good? Let me know. But from my point of view, as somebody that's just been casually playing Duel Links the past couple months, neat card. Next up, we're going to take a look at Master Pendulum, the Dracoslayer, and I don't know what it is, but that artwork looks squished. Like, this guy looks like... This is a light level 4 scale 3 normal pendulum monster, and its pendulum effect states once while this card is in your pendulum zone, you can target one card in a pendulum zone and destroy it. So at first, when I read this card, I wasn't too sure why this was a UR card. It was just a scale 3 that can pop a card in the pendulum zone, but then I realized you can actually use this card to pop your opponent's pendulum zones, which is decent. And on top of that too, maybe there's some certain strategies that require you to maybe want to pop your own pendulum zone to send monsters back to the extra deck, or send them to the graveyard, or whatever the case may be to trigger off combos. But it is a kind of an alright card for the fact that you can snipe one of your opponent's pendulum cards in their pendulum zone, because it just says you can target one card in a pendulum zone, not your pendulum zone or only your opponent's pendulum zone. So that's really cool. So that's kind of a neat card, and there's probably some more things that this guy has going for it that I don't know of on the top of my head, but cool fact, you get to pop a card from the pendulum zone. Yay! Next up, we're going to take a look at this synchro monster that's a UR. Braxa, I don't know. Brightness of the Yang Zing is a level 8 light worm synchro effect monster. It takes one tuner plus one or more non-worm type monsters, or non-tuner worm type monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target cards on the field up to the number of different original attributes of the worm type monsters used for the synchro summon of this card, shuffle them into the deck. Once per turn, you can target one card you control and a level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard. Destroy that card on the field, and if you do, special summon that other monster from the graveyard. This card has 2300 attack and 2600 defense. So yeah, this guy's actually kind of a cool card. So when you go into the synchro summon this card, whether using one tuner and one or more non-tuner worm type monsters, so if you use only 2 monsters or 3 monsters to go into the synchro summon, when this card goes on the board, as long as those monsters used to summon into this card are different attributes, you can just bounce cards from the field back into the deck, which is really good. So you're going to be able to get rid of some of your opponent's cards and shuffle them back into the deck. So that means that graveyard effects can't trigger, and their deck's going to get a little fatter, so they're not going to be able to draw into the cards that they need. So that's really cool. And on top of that too, you can target a card you control and a level 4 lower monster in your graveyard, and then you can pop your own card and then special summon one of your monsters from the graveyard. So it's a little just cycle effect, and if you build your deck right, you're going to be able to maybe trigger an effect that you just, so you're sacking off a card on your side of the field for triggering Yang Zing's effect to special summon a monster that's 4 or lower from your graveyard. Well, maybe you're going to pop a card that needs to be in the graveyard in the first place, so you get him into the graveyard or whatever card you need into the graveyard, bring your level 4 or lower monster back into the field, and you get to go for spicy combos. So that's kind of a neat effect going for this guy. But yeah, that first effect is pretty good. The only thing that sucks is that it takes worm type monsters, and I mean, even to trigger the effect, you need to use worm type monsters. So it's only going to work for just specific decks that play worm type monsters, but hey, it's still a pretty decent synchro monster, so I'm all for it. Next up, we have Compulsory Escape Device, a UR normal trap card that states each player chooses one monster they control and then shuffles it into the deck. So there you go, pretty decent card right here. I'm curious to see how well this card's going to see play, because it is a pretty spicy card. Because yeah, if you have a monster on your side of the field and your opponent just summons into a monster and you don't like that monster, you can play this card and then you just bounce both the cards back into the deck. It's a non-target effect, so it's going to be able to play around certain interactions. Pretty interesting card. The only bad thing with this card is the fact that you also need to choose a monster, if I'm reading this correctly. Correct me in the comment section down below, but I think you can only trigger the activation condition of this card if you have a monster and your opponent has a monster. I don't think you can cheese out if you have no monsters and your opponent has one monster. They are forced to send a monster from their deck back, or from their field back to the deck. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is going to be a solid card. I don't think it's going to be one of those like staple traps that's going to be played all the time, but I think depending on the deck that you play it with, it's going to be a fantastic addition to it. But the fact is that since each player gets to choose the monster that they control to shuffle back into the deck, if you don't play this card right, you're going to get punished. But if you do play this card right, you're going to get a lot of advantage in a duel. So it's going to be interesting to see how this card's going to see play in Duel Links, but solid UR card. And the last card to take a look at is Destruction Sword Memories. Discard one Destruction Sword card and special summon one Buster Blader monster from the deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon one Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard. So this card is pretty spicy, and I see why it is a UR card, because one, you get to trigger by discarding a Destruction Sword card, you get to special summon Buster Blader from your deck for free. And when this card gets sent to the graveyard after, special summoning Buster Blader, you can banish this card right away to then fusion summon it into Buster Blader Destroyer Swordsman, cannot read right now, from your extra deck by banishing the fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard. So you're going to be able to just basically cheese out a Buster Blader and immediately summon into the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman from this card alone. So that's kind of spicy. I don't know if this will, I think this will see play in Buster Blader. The only thing that sucks about it is that it is a trap card. But yeah, being able to play this during your opponent's turn, I think you might be able to play this during your opponent's turn. Yeah, correct. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can, because it says you banish this card from your graveyard. So I don't know if it's really a quick effect. But yeah, I don't like that this is a trap card, but it's still a good card. So I don't know. It's going to be a little slow since it is a trap card. If it was a spell card, this card would have been dummy busted. But yeah, I think I'll see play. Maybe 1 or 2 copies and then a Buster Blader deck. Who knows? But yeah, decent card. Moving on to the SR cards in this box. Pendulum Call, baby. I'm excited about this card, and I'm surprised we're getting this card so soon. But I think Konami is starting to want Pendulum decks to be good. This card states discard 1 card, add 2 Magician Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. Also, Until the end of your opponent's next turn after this card resolves, Magician cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. You only can activate one Pendulum Call per turn. You cannot activate this card if you activate a Magician monster's Pendulum effect this turn. Dummy busted card right here for the fact that you get to search for 2 Pendulum Magician monsters. So that means you're going to be able to get 2 of your scales by playing Pendulum Call and discarding a card. And it's just, I'm excited. Like, sure, it's kind of a 1-for-1. You spend 2 cards to then search for 2 cards, but at the same time, if you build your deck right, the card you discard can maybe be used from the graveyard to give you certain synergy, which would be huge. And being able to search for your scales anyways is just too good, bro. There's a reason why like skills like Onomats are dummy busted. Like Onomats and that skill Onomato play, being able to cycle a card from your hand and then search for another card for a 1-for-1 is just huge, and having that search ability for something like Pendulum Call is just insane. So I'm excited about this, and I'm curious to see if Magician Pendulum is going to be a thing in Duel Links after this card. That's exciting. Next card we're going to take a look at is Jiaotu, Darkness of the Zing. Don't know how to pronounce this card name, but this is a tuner monster and probably going to be one of your main tuners to go into that Worm UR Synchro monster we talked about earlier in today's video. It's a dark level 2 monster. When this card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one Zing monster from your deck in attack position except Darkness of the Zing. If you control no other monsters, you can send 2 Zing cards from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon a Zing monster 0 attack and 1 Zing monster 0 defense from your deck, but banish them during the end phase. You only can use 1 Darkness of the Zing effect per turn, only once that turn. Okay, so now looking at the rest of the box, I'm gonna guess the main combo is that you're gonna summon Darkness of the Zing with no, and then trigger its ability when you have no other monsters on the side of your field. And you're gonna play its ability to discard 2 Zing cards and then special summon into Shinani, fire the Zing, and summon into Brixie, water the Zing to then synchro summon into Brightness of the Zing. That's probably gonna be the easiest way to go into this because it's a 2, 4, and 2 to go into 8. That's the only combo I can see making it really easy to summon into the Brightness of the Zing. And there might be some other ways to get around in summoning into this guy because there's some other Zing cards. Like we have a level 1 tuner right here. There's like a level 5 Zing somewhere around here, I think. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, there's like all sorts of like, you know, interesting combos that you can do. Oh, look at that. Farfa. Featuring Farfa. Let's go. But yeah, no, interesting card. Next up, we have Sir Malebranche, the Burning Abyss. This is a dark level 3 fiend effect monster. If you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. You only can activate one of these effects of this card per turn, only once that turn. If you control no spell and trap cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's going to be one of your other level 3 targets to go into Dante. Very cool. If this card sends to the graveyard, you can target a Burning Abyss monster in the graveyard, except this guy, and special summon it. So I can see why this guy's an SR card. Again, it's going to be a really good card to go into rank 3 summons and summoning into your Dante. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, I don't know what else this guy is good for. It's just special summon, level 3 special summon. That's all it's here for, baby. Okay, well, shout out to this random fusion monster that's an SR in this box. Shout out to Dinoster Power, the mighty Dracoslayer. It's a Dragon Fusion effect monster, a water, level 8, and it takes 1 Dracoslayer Pendulum monster and 1 Pendulum monster. Must be first special summoned from your extra deck by tributing the above cards. You do not use polymerization. Pendulum monster cards in your monster zones and Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 Dracoslayer Pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard, but it cannot be used as fusion material. So when you summon this guy, what is neat about this is being able to protect all your Pendulum monsters and all your scales. So that's cool. And then the ability to be able to special summon a Dracoslayer Pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard is also kind of neat because you get to summon this guy and then summon another monster, and then you have protection of your monsters and scales. So it's a decent little SR card. The only thing that's really lacking is attack. That 2000 attack is not really fun. And the only other problem I have with this card is the fact in order to summon into this, you have to have these cards face up in your Pendulum or face up on your field in order to fusion summon into this card, because to fusion summon into this card you have to tribute Dracoslayer Pendulum monster and 1 Pendulum monster. So your opponent could shut you down before getting into this card, but once you do get this card on the board, like if you went turn 1, it's going to be pretty nice. So it's a decent card. And next card we're going to take a look at is Buster Dragon. I always found it funny that Buster Blader actually had a Buster Dragon to go along with the deck, but hey, that Yu-Gi-Oh lore do be pretty cool. This card is a dark level 8 Dragon Synchro effect monster. It takes 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. All monsters your opponent controls become a dragon type. Once per turn, if you do not control a Buster Blader monster, you can target 1 Buster Blader in your graveyard, special summon it, Once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target one Buster Blader monster you control, equip it with one Destruction Sword monster from your graveyard. This is a quick effect. And yeah, this guy has 1200 attack, but hey, being able to special summon that Buster Blader is pretty huge. And going into this card's gonna be pretty neat because Buster Blader is level 7 and most of the Dragon Tuners are level 1. So combo both of those two together. There you go, baby. You got a recipe. Next card we're gonna take a look at is Virgil, Rockstar, the Burning Abyss, a level 6 synchro monster. It takes one tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters. You can only control one Virgil, the Rockstar, the Burning Abyss. Once per turn, you can discard one Burning Abyss card, then target one card your opponent controls or is in the graveyard and shuffle it into the deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card. You only can use this effect of this card once per turn. So pretty decent card right here. It's a simple, just level 6 monster, and I think it should be pretty easy to go into considering most of these Burning Abyss cards we've seen so far just special summon themselves on the board for free. But yeah, no. And yeah, being able to discard a Burning Abyss card to then target a card your opponent controls and shuffle into the deck is a pretty decent effect. And when this guy does get destroyed by battle or card effect, since the graveyard being able to draw cards, neat. Overall, it's just a neat card. I don't know how well it's going to be used in the Burning Abyss deck, but it's going to be a nice little just toolbox card in the deck to have a little bit of versatility, so not a bad card. Next up, we have Evilswarm Nightmare, level 4 Dark Fiend Xyz effect monster. It takes 2 level 4 dark monsters. When your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can detach one material from this card and change that special summon monster to face down defense position. Man, obviously automats need more support. Just in general, bro, like rank 4 cards are insane. Luckily, this guy takes 2 level 4 dark monsters, so if your deck can run 2 level 4 dark monsters, this card is really good. So it's not a completely generic rank 4 monster, but it's still pretty close. It still is pretty close. So yeah, definitely a really good card right here. Being able to flip down special summon monsters during during the main phase is pretty insane, and it's a really good quick effect here, so I like it. This is a really good card. Next up, we got Odd Eyes Fusion, which technically isn't Duel Links through a skill, but now it's finally attainable in this brand new box right here. Odd Eyes Fusion allows you to fusion summon one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you control no monsters, you can also use up to 2 Odd Eyes monsters in your extra deck as fusion materials. You can use 1 Odd Eyes Fusion per turn. The other thing that sucks about this is that there isn't really any like Odd Eyes Fusions yet in the game. Unfortunately, all the other like Odd Eyes Fusions that we have in Duel Links already are not treated as Odd Eyes cards. They are treated as like, there's like Rune Eyes and Beast Eyes. That's not an Odd Eyes card, so using Odd Eyes Fusion right now isn't that good. But once we get stuff like Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, that's going to be pretty hyped to use with Odd Eyes Fusion, so that's pretty cool. And then last SR card we're going to take a look at in today's video is Zing Creation. Once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Zing monster from your deck. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchro monsters. So overall, kind of a nice little card right here. You're going to be able to kind of just stall. Your opponent pops one of your monsters and then you just special summon one of them back from your deck. Nice little card. I like it. And overall, this box is looking really spicy. I don't know when this box is coming out. We have not got a confirmed date yet, but yeah, no, the Auto support and the Burning Abyss support is awesome. We're actually getting Majespecters in this, and they actually have a couple of their decent cards. We're getting other Pendulum support. And we're just getting all sorts of different stuff. We're getting like ninja support. Like there's a lot of different just shenanigans going on in this box that I cannot wait to see in Duel Links. So yeah, I'm excited for this box. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're also excited for this box. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like in today's video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and have a happy holiday. Enjoy your time with your family and friends. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas if you do celebrate it. Other than that, that's going to do it for me in today's video. And you guys have a good one. Adios, everybody.